At this event in California's Central Valley, farmers come together to support free trade.
The United States as a whole exports $20 billion more in agricultural products than we import as a country.
Jeff Colombini grows apples, walnuts, and cherries, all products that have increased market share in China in recent years, but are now under intense scrutiny.
We're going to have to find somewhere else to sell these cherries. Cherries are highly perishable. There's an expression in the fresh food industry, sell it or smell it.
The U.S. still has in place a 25% tariff on imported steel and 10% on aluminum from countries like China, something that also impacts the U.S. food processing industry.
About 60% of the tin plate steel used to make cans, food and beverage cans, is imported, and mostly from China because it's lower cost and higher quality. So there's a cost that will directly affect the cost of the production of those products and the price that consumers pay.
I've been around the business since I was born.
I'm fourth generation. I've been around the business since I was born. My father was a grower and a packing house manager.
Terry Orr and Kevin Howard say California oranges are of the highest quality, and they send only their very best to China.
Real thin skin, because the people in China like heavy weight, and the thinner the skin, the heavier the weight of the fruit.
China also has some of the strictest pruning requirements that California orange growers must follow. For example, if this orange were to drop within 2 feet of the ground, or 0.6 meters, it would not be allowed to be sold to China, even though it could be sold in the U.S. That's because it decreases the chances of it rotting before getting to the customer.
This week, this year, we're going to ship about 5,000 cartons to China. Last year, this week, we shipped 16,000 to China. Some of the customers are reluctant to buy right now because they don't know what's going to happen.
It's creating uncertainty here also, not only with what kind of money we're going to make on our crop this year, but with labor. You know, we have a huge labor force here that's geared up and ready to harvest.
California Citrus Mutual represents the state's 3,000 to 4,000 citrus growers. The group says California's citrus shipments to China are down by 50% a week, and that increased trade tension is leading to delays upon entering China.
Every country has an inspection process, and this normally gets done in 24 to 36 hours. Now it's 4 or 5 days, and then suddenly they're seeing something that they're not sure is really there, so they quarantine the fruit for another week. So by the time it starts entering the channels of distribution, it's 2 weeks old, and that's a lack of freshness for the consumer.
The concern is that lower quality and higher prices will lead to Chinese buyers turning to competitors like Australia, South Africa, and Egypt. But growers remain optimistic that a deal can still be worked out, one where the California orange is delivered at peak quality for the best price. Mark New, CGTN, Exeter, California.